Depression is a major depressive disorder. It is also a widespread and several medical condition that has a detrimental impact on how you feel, think, and behave. But luckily, it is also treatable. Depression causes the feelings of a sadness or a lack of interest in previously enjoyed hobbies or activities. It can trigger a slew of emotional and physical issues, as well as a reduction in your ability to function at work and at home. Depression is so common nowadays, and many people started to suffer from this, but sadly, there's still many people think it's just a small kind of matter.
When do you realize that you have a depression?
When I was 13 years old, I started cry for no reason and harming myself.
Self-harm is purposely injury or harm to oneself. Some people self-harm as a way of dealing with very difficult thoughts and feelings that they can't cope with in more positive ways. Many young people self-harm, and it is thought that around 10% of young people self-harm at some point. Not everyone with depression self-harms, and similarly, many young people who self-harm are not depressed. Self-harm can also be a suicidal act, although not everyone who self-harms is suicidal. Those who self-harm may be at a higher risk from suicide.
So, what do you do after you realize you had depression? And are you looking for a psychologist or therapist right away, or you try to overcome it?
When I was 18, I still at matric. I asked my counselor about this. I asked her how to come from this. Like, I don't want to harm myself anymore. And she said for hospital help, and I've been warded for 2 days.
Do you take any medication? Does the medication helps you in any way?
Yes, they help in terms of hormone, like they control my hormone from like there is no more suicidal thought. But when I skip those medicines, my suicidal thoughts become worse and I'm not able to control it.
Depressive symptoms not only affect ordinary people, but well-known people also suffer from depression. They are willingly to take their own lives because they cannot stand the disease anymore. For example, the lead singer of the popular boy band SHINee and soloist Kim Jong-hyun's suicide note only gave us tiny glimpse of how depressed he really was, as he spoke of how he was broke inside and that he couldn't fight it anymore. And there was also a singer and actress, Sule. She's been called ugly, untalented, and more crude remarks. It seemed like whatever she did only drew in more hate from online netizens. These are some of the examples of well-known people take their own life because of depression.
Did you tell anyone about your depression? And like how your family or friend and how do they react?
No, I deny it since I believe myself that I don't have depression. I believe that like I don't have depression, like I didn't take any medicines, but I was wrong. It is so wrong.
I realized about it. At first, I started to deny it because since we were all in a lockdown, and for SPM students, it was pretty hard for us since we are having everything online. So I denied it, and I just thought it was some lazy move, or I was just procrastinating. But as soon as I realized I didn't want to do work because of anxiousness instead of laziness, that's when I thought this is something serious and it's not something to be played about, and that's when I realized it.
Depression is a common illness worldwide, with more than 264 million people affected. At its worst, depression can lead to suicide. Close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every year. Suicide is the second leading cause of death in 15 to 29 years old. Although there are known effective treatments for mental disorders, between 76% and 85% of people in low and middle income countries receive no treatment for their disorder.
The only thing I did as soon as I knew was I besides neglecting it, I talked to my sister about it because she's really close to me. But a psychologist or a therapist or any type of medication didn't come across to my mind.
So, do you take any medication, and does the medication helps you in any way?
So like around last year when I told my sister about it, my family started to accept it instead of like bury it beneath the ground like other family has it. I'm grateful because my parents are very open about it. So they extended my appointments to its therapist and psychologist. Hence I did get treatment, but the treatment didn't really do much on me. Instead of healing it, it numbs me. But it felt better, but it didn't heal because healing is on to ourselves anyways.
How do you try to overcome the challenge of depression? Like how you through it by yourself at the first?
I tell myself every day to fight for my angel's side. Like, you have future. Like that. That's why I still fight for my life.
Allowing my body to decide and not pushing and not beating myself up really helps in healing. And also I'm a person who likes to read books, so books really help a lot because it's like a very short escape from whatever that's going around. So that's how I cope with it.
What kind of treatment do you deal with people who had depression? Do you give any medications to your patients to make any progress for their mental health?
Okay, so I'm a psychologist, so I cannot give medications. The only people who can give medications are psychiatrists. So basically, to be a psychiatrist, you need to be a doctor first, and then you specialize in psychology. So those are the ones that can give out medications. Whereas I am a psychologist, so what I do is therapy with them. And the therapy that I do is cognitive behavioral therapy. So this one we look at how our thoughts and our behaviors interplay with each other and how they maintain this problem, which is what we're talking about right now is depression, or how it causes the problem. And then we'll try to change their thinking styles, try to change some of their behaviors in hopes of improving the symptoms. And if some of our clients who are very, very depressed or like they just can't function very well, we would refer them to psychiatrists as well to get some medications.
I'm also, I don't know how to deal with, like, I don't know how to encourage them. So we wanted to know that what can we do if one of our family members or friends have to deal with depression? How to encourage them?
One of the things you need to know first is that you are not responsible for it. And it is kind of hard to deal with people who have depression because they can get really low and then they're very not motivated. So do not take that upon yourself. But one of the things you can do with them is let them know that they are not alone. Do not let them be alone. Oh yeah, another symptom of depression is thoughts of death or suicidal ideations. So they want to kill themselves. Yeah, so never let them be alone. You can just initiate conversations like, hey, I've noticed that you've been a bit different. Is there something going on? Yeah, so initiate conversations with them, support them, tell them that they're not alone. How can I better support you, or who can I refer you to get the support that you need? Yeah, so just have those conversations with them, and maybe you can understand more, go to more talks or Facebook Lives or have more interviews like this to understand more about depression so that you understand what they're going through. And then like, don't force them to change. Don't tell them what is right, what is wrong. Just be there, be supportive, and just listen to them when they need to.
Relationship also not a substitute for professional therapy that can help people dealing with depression with their feeling. Friendship is all about supporting each other in ups and downs. Also, depression can challenge a strong friendship in their hard time, but it doesn't make it possible for the friendship to continue. In fact, the friendship can be beneficial to both parties.
So what do you want to tell them? Like, if your friends and family is on the screen, and what do you want to tell them deep inside your heart?
Maybe I will tell them you can start to learn how to take care of yourself and take care of yourself like to take care of other people.
To tell him, which is my best friend here, that whenever he feels not right or sad, just find me if you want. I'm always be here with you. Yeah.
Sometimes life will kick you around, but sooner or later you will realize you are not just a survivor, you are a warrior, and you are stronger than anything your life throws your way.
We all know that suffering depression is a very hard matter, but if other people could overcome it, you guys could too.
No matter what, how your life is feeling so low, I just want to say that I'm proud of you. You did a great job for surviving.
We are here for you.
We are here.
Everything gonna be fine.